Welcome. Today I'm gonna play a game called Stanley Parable, as you can see. Well, you already knew that because of the title. But let's just, yeah, I'm just gonna play.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ripping, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Bruh, I hope that's what real jobs
And then
are like.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
It's pretty
No
scary.
one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So it's, I think I've seen this somewhere.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, let me in! I'm scared. No, I'm just kidding. Where's the meeting room? Hello? This way? Yeah, that's what I said. Where is the meeting room? That's not it. Oh, what's in there? Wait, am I supposed to go in there?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, mister. I don't know where I'm supposed to. Can I have this? Oh, I want the cup. Okay. Where's the meeting room, though? Can I run? Like a couch.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bet.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business,
no.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, what? Oh, I got him.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This guy is so mean. Right, who's shutting these doors behind me? I mean, like... Warning, do not jump from cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. I didn't know that. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off, $5,000. Well...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Yes.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I know, thank you. Alright, I'll actually follow directions this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Okay.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This time, I'm actually going to the store. Who's closing these doors? It's kind of annoying. Alright. Hello. Alright. Let me just... There's a light in there. Is this what the outside... Yeah, this is pointless. Scary.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Ooh,
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Oh wait, I actually opened it. Get close. Wow, doors are quirky.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he
Except for a
turned
broom.
around and got back on track.
What's in here? Oh, I want something. Give me something.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm walking. Boy, this is a thick room. No. Oh yeah, baby. I think I may have glitched the game. Hello, bathroom. Okay. Boss, where are you? Hello, boss. Boss, are you in here? Boss? No. Boss?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Manager,
stunned
boss?
to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, what's the password? I can't. Oh,
Yet incredibly,
dang. I
by
wish I
simply
knew.
pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by
I know.
sheer
It,
luck.
I was so
Amazing.
random. I didn't
He
mean to do
stepped
that.
into the newly opened passageway.
Can I turn this off? I'd like to turn you off. Hello? Anybody here? What's over here? I can't see anything. Should I press it? I'm gonna press it. Oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hello?
Descending deeper into the building,
Anybody
Stanley
home?
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free
What was
to
that?
think for himself.
Oh, Jesus.
To question the
I
nature
thought
of
that was a
the
light
job.
up there.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
I don't want to go. I'm scared. Mommy. No.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Wow. I wonder what's in here. No, doors. I'm scared. Right, this is like the X-Men room. Hello, there's a button here. Should I press it?
The
I'll
lights
press it.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Are you sure this
Stanley
isn't
thought
from
to
X-Men?
himself. Did he have the
I don't know.
strength to find out?
The doors are gonna close.
Now the monsters jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Fired.
Stanley's co-workers. The
That guy right
lives
there,
of
he's
so
fired.
many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What's on there? Just nothing. Hello. That guy's fired. That guy's fired. Wow, it's an empty room.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
What's that?
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring
read
job?
that.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
What does that say?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Beep, boop.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Beep,
For
beep,
he
beep, beep,
would dismantle the
beep,
controls once and for all.
beep, beep. Oh, I can't beep that. Beep. Beep. Beep, beep. Press the button. Press the button. Beep. Power facility power. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. What's this one not beep? I want to press it. Beep. Yep, gotta just do the thing. Ooh, beep. Oh wait, there's numbers everywhere. Maybe I can go press them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to
I know.
everything it stood
Yeah,
for.
on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
No.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Maybe. Maybe. No. Maybe yes.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Epic.
Long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
I am the
Shape
star.
it to your
It's
heart's
my story.
desires.
I'm
This
gonna
is
make
much
it.
better than what I had in mind.
Sorry,
What a
Simba.
shame we have so little time left to enjoy
know.
it.
There's like
Mere
nothing.
moments
I have
until
no
the
time.
bomb goes off. But
Well,
what precious
I'll let
moments
it.
each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Where's the one?
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Uh-oh.
Stanley.
Uh-oh.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to strike. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail
Fine, Mr.
Or will you
Narrator.
let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And
know
believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay, I died. Cool. I think I died. Maybe? Question mark? Where am I? Wait, this is different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Over here? So what is this? What is this?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, I did. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, let's go find him.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Aha,
office.
you thought. I'm going downstairs. There's a car. It's
But
a
Stanley
DeLorean.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Coffee.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he
Coffee.
taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe
All
I
of my
am
co-workers
crazy.
blinking
You know what?
mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Coffee.
And as Stanley pondered this,
Coffee.
he began to make other strange observations.
Coffee.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Yeah,
Why
actually,
did
fuck
doors
it.
close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion,
Oh, hey, the
I'm
printer's back.
dreaming!
Yeah.
This is all a dream.
This is all a dream.
What a relief Stanley felt
Yeah.
to have
Oh,
finally
geez.
found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his
Alright,
job.
can I just get
He
in the car
wasn't
and go?
crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll
Can I
wake
go
up
there?
soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing
Yeah,
buttons.
no, boring.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
Wait,
ground.
no.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now
Not
the
everything.
voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
Coffee.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the
Those
voice
were
explain
mine.
all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could
125.
just...
Why
would prove it.
125?
He would prove that he was in control, that this
Aha,
was a
I'm in
dream.
control.
So he
Right.
closed his eyes gently,
No.
and he invited
no.
himself to wake up.
No.
He felt
No.
the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job.
And I'm just gonna
Let
be
me
in my
continue
job. I'm
pushing
gonna
the
wake up
buttons.
and there's gonna be
Please.
nobody there.
It's all I want.
That's
I
all
want
I
my apartment
want.
and my wife and my job.
I don't think I have a
All
wife.
I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
All of
My
every-
life is normal.
What?
I am normal. Everything will be fine.
I'm gonna wake up in my cubicle
Okay.
or whatever it's called. My office. Wow.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am
Stop.
real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am
I
I?
think that's just useful.
And everything went black.
No, they didn't. No. 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 Stop. Stop.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Wow.
Though she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She felt better for me being dead. What? What is this person? Okay, buddy. No. Wait, I can close. Ooh. Hello.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door on his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Nope.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the... Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be 2845.
I know, if I knew that, it would be like... I don't know. It's not possible for me to know the code, so I'm just gonna press... Yeah? Maybe it's this code.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story.
Oh.
Whoop-de-doo.
Wow. Did I get the code yet? Was it 2845? No. It's 2845. Cool, I got it right. Epic. Ooh, look at this.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I don't think so, sir.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ugh, that sounds scary. I'm gonna do it.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I know, but Stanley decided to
At this point,
not.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Actually, Stanley decided to walk backwards. Stanley decided to jump off and die. I'm not dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and As Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Yes,
Stanley
zero
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow
Indeed
life.
I did.
Farewell, Stanley.
Alright, bye-bye, friends.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
His body. Lol, you thought. I'm scared.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
Whoa.
death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
That's a weird ball.
Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow! This is my room. And this office is the wow! This is where I went and I turned left. Is there off? Oh. Hello?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
And off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one
was on.
another? No,
Huh?
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Well, when you have the lights off, you can't see anything.
But listen to me.
Ooh.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program
Wait, the
before they
game's not
both
over.
fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Who? What should I do?
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Well, time chose for it. And you know what? That's where I'm gonna end this. I'll probably play it again. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.